The Anxious Oz.
Once upon a time, in the land of Oz, there was the dearest wizard named Oz, who was most occupied with his daily routine. Oz could be found granting wishes and helping the less fortunate every chance he was given. When one day, the wizard came across an angry evil man with an outrageous request at hand. "Old Wizard of Emerald City, answer me this!" screams the man. "I want to know the meaning of life, great wizard!" The wizard sits and thinks to himself, and as time goes, he starts to realize he does not have the answer for this question. With this in mind, the almighty wizard is thrown into a crisis, and he begins to feel not so almighty. The great wizard claims, My noble gentleman, I cannot answer that, for I don't have any clue what it is." The wizard answers sheepishly. "Be gone with you, wizard!" the man yells. "You are nothing but a fraud." The wizard is utterly speechless, for he is the man with all answers, the great and all-knowing, and yet he cannot answer this one question. With that, the wizard loses all confidence and locks himself away into his castle, not being heard from in close to 6 months. A few months later, the wizard is pictured pacing back and forth in his castle, still so confused and disheartened by his latest inconsistency. It is consuming him. Then, suddenly, the castle doors rumble as Dorothy, the Tin Man, the Scarecrow, and the Cowardly Lion show up unannounced in hopes to check in on their friend, the wizard. For they haven't heard from him in many months. The wizard, thrown off with the sudden appearance of company, he starts to sweat and his tummy starts to ache at the thought of having to interact with them. The wizard is terrified. His hands start to clam up, his stomach turns, and he is trembling as he imagines all the awful things they could say to him. "Great wizard," Dorothy exclaims, "we have not heard from you in almost 8 months. Is everything okay? You have yet to leave the castle and socialize with the people of Emerald City." The wizard, scared to speak, feels humiliated with himself and begins to tremble more, and dizziness starts to overcome his headspace. His heart beats faster as he tries to come up with an answer for Dorothy. Nothing is awry. I am absolutely fine." The group senses his dishonesty. He is clearly in distress. "Liar!" the Tin Man proclaims. "What is the matter? We are here for you." Oz, with even more pressure built on his shoulders, struggles to find an answer for his friends. "We are here for you, wizard. We want to help with whatever you are going through," says Dorothy. Reluctantly, the wizard opens his door, and he is face to face with them as he says, "Recently, I have been having intense anxiety. Lately, my deeds for the people have been lacking, and I feel the pressure building. I don't think I am good enough anymore to be the wizard." Dorothy answers, "Oh, great wizard, what makes you feel like that?" The wizard responds, "A man came to me with a question I am unable to answer, and I have been questioning my worth and prowess as the Wizard of Emerald City." "What was the question at hand?" asked the lion. "A man asked me what the meaning of life is, and I have no sense of how to answer the question." The group began to think, and Dorothy replied with, "Oh, great wizard, there are many questions in life that we are unable to answer, because everyone has different answers. Not being able to answer such a question does not conclude your self-worth. Oz, you are still so powerful. It's proven through all of the people you've helped throughout the years. Don't you remember?" Oz replies, "I'm not too sure about that. It is difficult for me to think in a positive way about myself right now. I have seen the city therapist, and he describes how I feel as anxious. I'm not sure when I will get better. It feels like this is never ending." "Nonsense," says Dorothy. "We are here for you as friends to support you and be there for you, so you will not be alone to deal with your anxiety." The wizard, feeling more comfortable with himself, takes Dorothy up on her offer. They're often found together talking about how he feels, and he soon starts to feel more at peace with himself, little by little. As months go by, the wizard goes to therapy for his social anxiety and has weekly small talks with Dorothy, which make him feel better about himself and his doubts. The end.